Good morning, Satnam. Happy spring equinox. Spring has sprung. The sun is shining. You can see it right here. Hasn't quite touched me yet, but I think if I'm here for a long minute, it will. Um, yeah, so welcome. Today, I kind of wanted to do something a little more educational at the beginning, Astro Drop in the middle, and a Kundalini Kriya at the end. So if any point you're like, oh, I don't have time, burp, just jump forward to the part where I'm like, for a good long minute, okay? But otherwise, you get like kind of like bonus knowledge. All right, we're going to start with crystals, actually. Um, a lot of you know that crystals are kind of a fundamental piece of my entire existence, as like they are yours, because you are made of the same mineral makeup as the stars, as the consciousness, as the crystals that grow in the earth. These things can retain information, they can send and receive information. So let's start with some crystals that I've kind of pulled. Crystals are a huge part of my existence, I think, as everyone kind of knows if you know me pretty well. And if not, well, welcome to that knowledge fact. My house is drenched in crystals. I have boxes of rocks and minerals and gem specimens and just collecting things with every intention to find them new homes at some point when they're ready to go. But anyways, the ones that I kind of chose to talk about today are pretty common ones that you might have even picked up at your metaphysical stores or your rock shops or found along your way. But these are all tools that we can all kind of empower right now, especially since there's a lot of people home doing a lot of new things that they've never done, like parents homeschooling or, basically just spending days and days inside with your family. I mean, get creative, learn something new, take a new concept in perhaps. So let's talk about these rocks, um, these friends of ours. So first, most common one that you probably have, everyone, if you're a crystal person, um, or a metaphysical person or a spiritual person, you might have some selenite that you've picked up along the way. Selenite is amazing. It's kind of like your overall magic wand for everything. So think about it as a big piece of salt because it is a very big form of salt. And putting this on your heart helps to release and clear energy, sadness, grief, frustration. Putting it on your mind can help calm headaches, help you calm your mind, combing your energy. I do this a lot for people. I'll start at the top and swipe all the way down, and it feels like someone's brushing hair that you don't even have. You can feel it in your ethereal body. It's just this connecting sweep and pull and release. So again, selenite is very common. It's inexpensive. I even have some. If you need some, you can just give me a holler, and I got some really pretty sticks. But yeah, when you're using your crystals, it's important to kind of have this base understanding of maybe what the consciousness believes that they're doing, whether it's scientific or woo-woo magic or just people believe because they believe and then the shit works. I don't know. I know that it works for me, and I do believe. I don't believe in Santa Claus, but I do believe in magic of Christmas. You see what I mean? So think about using selenite to elevate your auric frequency into a more purified state. You can sleep with selenite under your bed if you're having night terrors or stress at night, night sweats, things like that, things that are causing you discomfort. You can put under your pillow, under your mattresses, four corners, lay it down feng shui style. But also enhance your dream cycle too, because it's clearing and shedding your auric field of just clutter. So think about pulling out your selenite as one that you want to put in your toolbox. Your next one is going to be rose quartz. And again, they don't have to be this big. This is like for visual display. You can have a tiny piece of selenite. It's just how much you activate that by your hand, the warmth, the belief, the holding, I don't want to forget my rocks, all of that. Your selenite can be this tiny and work for you that big. It's Then you got your rose quartz. So your rose quartz is always going to be tethered to your heart. So that's going to be healing and soothing the emotions of the body. So forgiveness, kindness, compassion, togetherness, unity, um, forgiveness of things that maybe really aren't worth your time anymore. You can always do counterclockwise, or I guess that's, yeah, counterclockwise circles on your heart to help rose quartz to heal what we feel is broken or amplified right now. If you're having a lot of anxiety about the world and the state of the world, grab your rose quartz and neutralize that with this state of love, comfort, compassion, that big hug. Okay, so like don't be afraid to get weird with your rocks, just not super weird. Outside only. And yeah, you do have to say that to people. I don't know. Okay, so we got the rose quartz healing our heart. We've got selenite cleansing our field. Okay, because again, your energy body is picking up everything. It's like your antennas for everything. So all of the information that's coming out right now is kind of like getting stuck to you. So in order for you to make some kind of clear decision about your life and your world, you can always selenite yourself clean of other people's astral influences. And then your rose quartz, set yourself recenter in the heart, in the body, in the emotions. This is a huge chunk of fluorite. I know. You don't really have to get one this big. The bigger they don't work better. It's just your energy. It's how well you guys connect. But there's amazing smaller pieces of fluorite that you can get. But fluorite is great for clearing the mind, keeping the mind sharp, keeping you having a strong focus on whatever you're coming into this whole new experience to, whether you're following the astrology and you're like, okay, great, we're hitting this astral new year. How do I stay focused? Fluorite. Fluorite can help you study. It can help you prepare for things that are coming that feel a little intimidating. Keeping the mind right. Think fluorite, mind right. Oops. And then we're going to go over to aragonite or aragonite. This is a star cluster, but the tumbled ones look kind of like a desert sand pattern. So they're kind of ringy and they kind of look like a little bit deserty. They look very different than the clusters, but they are actually the same mineral. So this is in cluster form. And these are great for cleansing your emotional body. They're like a little succubus. They suck up everything. Unlike their friend selenite, who retains no memory of his whole cleansing experience with you, so you don't have to cleanse him, aragonite will hold that, because if you look at it, it's got these little sucking tubes in it. And so if you really do, if you're going through something and you hold this and then you pick it up a week later and you're like, whoa, it feels kind of weird and foreign, just go cleanse it. How? On your friend's selenite, right? So this is all a very easy toolbox that you can get into. He can cleanse everything because he holds no memory. He's like has amnesia or something all the time. All right, so then you've got cleansing your emotional body. So if you're going through the emotions of, oh my gosh, my life is changing. Oh my gosh, do I kind of like this new rhythm? Yeah, I kind of do. Am I feeling, secure in it? Probably not yet, but okay, sure. Or am I not liking this new rhythm? I need things to go back the way that they work for me and my family. Pray into your, whatever your prayers look like, whether they're a release of your worry or whether they're an asking of a little bit of extra light, whether they don't come in a sitting form at all. You just walk around being a good person, and that's your daily prayer wheel of generating good juju. Aragonite. Dump any of your worries in here, and then just make sure to set this guy over on top of your selenite, so when you need him again, you can just grab a quick grab. Okay, and then going into building more of a foundation and sense of security, all kinds of security, money security, emotional security, feeling like, okay, we're all in this together security, you're going to want to whip out your lapis lazuli. So again, this is a bigger piece. It's really pretty. It's like a stairway. That's where I bought it. But lapis lazuli has pyrite in it. So pyrite, lapis under a microscope is a cubic by nature, right? The whole thing, it makes this like cubic four-wall structural building. So if you think about lapis as laying foundations, foundations are very strong and they have security. So think about whipping out your lapis, sticking it somewhere with your money, with your paycheck, last paycheck from your place. If you're in that kind of situation, if you're not in that kind of situation, maybe write your intentions down on a piece of paper of the things that you need to secure, and slip it up under your little piece of lapis, stick it in the sunlight so that it can kind of activate itself. Not for long, because, sunlight directly on crystals is eventually over time going to wear them out, wear them down color-wise. But activate it by heat, by the great Father light, right? I'm telling you guys, this is how everything in my life works. And I used to teach crystal classes like for a week. And I taught a bunch of other really cool people how to do some magic with your minerals. So give it a try if you got them. And then take that kind of faith and belief and apply it to your personal experience with it and see what you can create. So going on to the theme of we've cleared our aura, we've balanced our heart, we've focused our mind, we've cleared our emotional body, we're building a new foundation. Now we're going to lift our energy with a Herkimer diamond. It's in the quartz family, don't worry, it's not like a precious diamond, but it's Okay, so let's talk now about the astrology of the time that we're in right now with the spring equinox, the new astrological new year, and this new moon in Chiron conjunction coming up on the 24th. All right, important highlights of that. What does that even mean? So we're at spring equinox today, and that rolls through today, tomorrow, and then, kind of wraps it up on the more early hours of the 21st. And that's going to be the point where spring clearly has blossomed and bloomed in the northern hemisphere. It's the still point in astrology. It's going to be the place of pause where nothing is greater and nothing is lesser. It's just right? A flat experience. But this is in this whole kind of quarantine thing that we're all experiencing right now. This is coming as a rebirth of humanity, okay? Because I've seen some people saying like, "Oh, it failed humanity. I can't stand being around, people, and they're so considerate, and all basically based off of this toilet paper problem, right? But the humans that I've seen are incredible. Everybody's been offering things, helping each other at the grocery stores, making sure they're not buying 50 rolls of toilet paper because people of Richmond don't seem to be like doing that. I think that's awesome. Because I feel like the pandemic of creating this fear mindset is what's going to take people into a very dark road, especially with the conjunctions that we have coming up that are like super delicate territory. So spring equinox for us is a rebirth of humanity. If you look at what's going on in the planet, not just the virus that's wiping everybody out on that very 3D, barely 4D, skitsy, fragging out world that we still operate in. But you can look at what is landing, which is this 5D awakening of millions and trillions of consciousnesses around the planet, the animals, the planets, the plants, the people, the everything is upgrading and shifting. So we have to expect some kind of crumble of the world that we know below. And it seems that there are pieces of our world right now that have been super toxic and they need to be reestablished. And that's hard for us humans to understand because we are very empathetic people and we couldn't imagine doing some of these horrific things that nature would do to us. But you know what? The reality is that we are nature too. So, how are we going to do this? Well, we're going to do this by uniting and not waiting and calling for help, waiting for someone or something greater than us to save us because nature and life around us is changing and we have to change it. We have to go with it, but we have to upgrade in the right kind of way. You know what I mean? So, looking at this equinox time, make sure that you are rebirthing some kind of piece of yourself that feels genuine and authentic. Um, the second major thing that we need to know about is Aries is shifting into, we just shifted into Aries today for the astrological new year, which is going to bring a lot of fire and creative, impulsive, actionary, Martian energy, Mars, feeling driven and goal oriented, you know, but also when do you stop? When do you pause? Especially in this time of the equinox. So you might feel like getting a lot accomplished, and I recommend that you do, but I also recommend that you do it within a space that is beneficial to building your new level of humanity. Does that make sense? So don't try to hyper clean your house today if you guys aren't really going anywhere and life isn't happening and everything is happening within this space and nobody's left, don't get neurotic. Like, that's a waste of your existence right there. But take that same drive and passion and apply it to something that's going to benefit you. So you know that your house is fortified. Nobody's been in, nobody's been out. You've already cleaned, you're good. Don't worry about that part now. Now, what can you create? What can you do to build something new? Because within this Aries thing, we have this Jupiter Saturn conjunction that really, really, really wants us to get industrious and creative of how we produce. How are you working? Okay, expand your field of working. Jupiter, planet of luck and expansion, good luck, fortune, higher level knowledge and thinking, is working hand in hand with Saturn, who says work, 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 structure, structure, structure. But he also rules the internet. So if you put those two things together, why wouldn't you be creating something new for yourself or at least exploring a new platform? Like these parents who are homeschooling now, they don't know about online free stuff. Us parents who homeschool rely on these kinds of sharing tips. Homeschool parents are sharing tips with non homeschool parents, so they stop freaking out thinking they have to make 8-hour days for their kids, right? No, your learning is totally different for each child. And here's some free resources while your school's like having a problem. You kind of got to think about how you can project expanding the way that you produce and show up. Okay, so but also you have a good pocket right now to do that because energetically spring has sprung. So what is coming to you is something that you probably ought to at least explore a bit more. And then on the 24th of the month, we go into Chiron and the new moon. And Chiron, who's been a key player in this whole virus-y quarantine experience for us this whole time, is now going to sit across from an Aries new moon. And an Aries new moon is steadfast and strong, and sometimes so strong-willed that it doesn't know when to pull the reins back and say, chill. So then there becomes this like devastating loss and grief. And but again, applying that same dedication, but in the right avenue, Aries people are like super great at getting a lot accomplished in a very small amount of time if they don't run into walls while they're doing it, right? So that's that new moon time. So we are going to be and paired with Chiron, he's illuminated where these infectious diseases are weakening our society, right? Because he's the wounded healer. So he's the planet of communication where you need to level up. And right now we're getting lit up on that whole aspect. So know that whatever we're doing is kind of, in a way, almost a little bit necessary to keep moving forward. Not necessary in we need to take people off the planet, but necessary as we need to change our ways as humans, the way that we think about each other and ourselves and the planet that we live on, because we can't keep going like this. and doing what we want. It's not working. So whatever you believe as far as, how this whole thing started or why we're seeing it now, that part doesn't really matter. It's like the direct global effect that it's happening. And we're all aware of each other right now, which is super enlightening. That is another Chiron aspect, is that no one feels forgotten right now. They do if they're being treated as though they don't matter. That's a different play. But the awareness that everyone has of thinking, well, I'm sort of feeling these people in China. I'm feeling these people in Taiwan. I'm feeling these people. Oh no, now I'm feeling these people in Washington. Now I'm really thinking about the homeless people. And then what about the old people? And then what about people are starting to care about a demographic in a space that they don't maybe operate in, but now they're super concerned about it. So people are pulling together and trying to make services available for people that don't want to be left out. Chiron is illuminating where our wounds are. So if some people are being treated very poorly by the state of protecting them, know that the people that are also trying to do things to help are really believing that they deserve 100% human rights as well. That's Chiron, emotional global healing. So really during this next week, just be ready to have a community healing come together awareness moment. And if you've already had yours, perfect. Hold space. Everyone says hold space, but hold space means many different things to different people and even at different times. So sometimes holding space is going to be just hold steady and just hold this energy right here in your heart, and just know this, and believe this and feel this, and just sometimes it's going to be about literally hold that space open. You're going to hold space open in the space-time continuum, in the whole cosmoverse. You are going to be able to use your mind, body, and spirit to hold those doors open. So if you don't already believe that you have the power to do that, that's like your next exercise before you even get into the yoga part, is just take a minute here, take a few deep breaths, and start affirming that on some kind of level so that you can see how fast your magic is flying out right now. It's instant, instant. It only gets deferred if there's worry or doubt. So pick something that you know is a no. You know it, not like it's a no, but you know it. And then intentionize that and see how it manifests for you, how fast it does. Holding the space open. My teacher told us once about a story where she was trying to create space, and it stayed with me. I love this story, but she was packing her bag to go on a trip and it wouldn't close. Her suitcase wouldn't shut. Everything she needed, she had already taken stuff out. And she just did a meditation, a Kundalini practice of creating space, opening the space between the fibers of the clothing, of the, items that she had in her bag, so that when she compressed that space and pushed all of that air out, that there actually would be a zip. Even though she had already sat on it, she had gotten her friend to try to help her get it closed, and it wasn't. They meditated on creating space, and she sat on it and everything compressed and she zipped it right up. I believe in creating and holding consciousness. So, knowing all of that is your astrological future right now, you can show gratitude and you can show kindness to yourself by doing this next practice, which is going to be about elevating your frequency as a human. So it's basically like installing a Herkimer diamond on your heart. So we're going to be elevating this consciousness in this next piece of the video. So thanks for listening. I hope you've learned something up until. Okay, so let's begin our tune in just like normal. Bring our palms together at the heart center. Inhaling deep, holding the breath in, circulating it around, and then exhaling it slowly, allowing your shoulders to drop, soften. Your spine is long. Your breath is slow. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Now in through the nose and out through the nose. We're going to begin our tune in using our sound current to penetrate the reality and the life of existence, to create a vibration that sets the tone for our health, our mind, and our body. We're going to tune in with Ong Namo, Gurudev Namo. So inhale deep, exhale slow, inhale deep. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Inhale deep, hold the breath in. Pull the navel point into the spine, elongating, stretching up into the sky, keeping the shoulders soft and relaxed. In the breath in, the organs are tightly pulled in through your rib cage, tucked around with love. Your heart feels open but firm, and relax your breath, bringing your hands down to your knees, settling into your new vibration. Regulating your breath and building the trust back into the body. Okay, so before we totally jump in, we got to talk about the breath of fire. Everybody maybe knows, somebody maybe doesn't. The breath of fire is going to be in and out through the nose, a quick inhalation, exhalation like you're a dog panting. But if you think about your normal pant style actionary thing, it's coming through your chest. But we want to take this breath down into the belly so that we can use this pumping action, not necessarily pumping from the stomach, but this tightening action with this breath that squeezes and works like one of those little fire puffy things, and adding air to the fire so it rises. Same thing with your belly. It's your cauldron. It's your well-being. It's your big chi ball right here in your solar plexus. It's where all your dudes live and chat and balance everything out. This is super important. So by the breath, bringing the breath all the way down here, you're thinking about bringing pure creative life all the way down and then up very quickly as well. So it's going to be through the nose. Your tongue is going to be on the roof of your mouth, behind your teeth. Your mouth is going to be closed, and your breath is going to come all the way down. Your belly might do a little jerking. That's great. Any more attention to the stomach area means that the breath is going down that far. So that's one breath that we're going to have. The next one we're going to have is a long, deep breathing. Okay, so at any point, you can always downshift from your breath of fire into long, deep breathing. Long, deep breathing is simply total inhalation to the point of peak, and then total exhalation to the point of you have nothing there and you're ready to go again. Very slow breath. So if the breath of fire ever feels like, whoa, then just downshift and try to keep the motion. If the motion too is also feeling, have a seat and just I'll be there once we finish the little round set. And you can always build your momentum, and as your body begins to accept these new pathways that you're trying to incorporate, which it doesn't normally do, so don't feel bad, right? Okay, so we're going to begin, and Okay, so first we're going to begin with Ego Eradicator. We're going to take the planetary fingers, roll them down onto the pads of the hand, pop the ego, thumbs out, separating ourselves, arms up at 60 degrees, and breath of fire here. Keeping the breath strong, using yourself to propel yourself into a higher field of consciousness, to a different plane of understanding or understanding, shifting from understanding to understanding, going from not understanding, feeling that below something, to knowing something, feeling it, totally getting and vibrating it, bringing it through with the breath. Remembering to keep the shoulders low, keep the breath going, using yourself like a little steam engine, propelling yourself down the tracks. It's very sovereign, solo, self-reliant, all movement by just your action on your breath. Inhale deep. Pull the thumbs together up over the head, touching the thumbs without looking if you can make it. If not, give it a little peek. Put the thumbs touching each other. Open the fingers to let the energy recirculate and blow the breath out as you bring your hands down to the floor and just integrate that feeling. Connecting as above, so below. What we know is high is always low. It's just not activated because there's no room for it. So we want to stay in a higher level of consciousness. Bringing our hands around to our ankles while we're sitting like this, we're going to be doing some upper spine flex. So you'll inhale forward, sticking your chest out. Exhale, roll your shoulders as if you were doing a cat, as in cat-cow, right? And your breath is strong and powerful as you open the spinal column, the spinal fluid, balancing your vagus nerve, like me. Vegas, last name. So keeping that breath, using that body to stick that chest out. And here again, you're unlocking your root chakra. If you did the video from yesterday, unlocking the root, this is another way to move the stagnant energy at the base of your body. It's ironic that everyone's buying toilet paper, and what do you do with toilet paper? Well, you use it on the bottom part of your body, and right now that's being activated by fear. And so it's really kind of interesting, the correlation between the relationship of the body, where it is, what energy center is being affected. Our root chakras, our survival instinct is being activated right now. There's a threat and a possible extinction of your self-preservation. So if you think about buying toilet paper, it really is kind of a weird little magic thing that happened there. So form your own opinions about that. It's not part of the Kriya. Just using that consciousness to say, okay, awaken, get out of your lower chakras. You will survive if you stay true. Okay, inhale, come forward, arching the back, bringing the shoulder blades together if you can, just pulling everything open, opening that heart space, feeling any tension in your frontal, expand, pull it all back, and exhale, roll your shoulders out. All right, so spinning right around, we're going to take our planetary fingers once again, separating our egos. Our egos are going to go to the back, and our planetary consciousness will come to the front. Planets sitting on the weight of our shoulders, leading us, carrying and being carried, right? Okay, we're going to inhale on the left, exhale as you swing right. And this is a deep twist, spinal twist. You can visualize wringing out your spinal column like you would wring out a wet rag, squeezing and juicing, allowing your fluids to flow freely, allowing information to become wisdom, knowledge, truth, part of your totem pole. Okay, inhale to the center, holding your posture, holding the breath in, pulling the navel point in tight to the spine, elongating your energy, bringing it up the back of your mind and your crown, and relax your arms, bring them down, integrate, assimilate, digest, however you do you. Shake it out, whatever feels good, just regulate. Okay, we're going to come over here into okay, so we're in a life nerve stretch here. We're going to inhale our arms up, exhale, exhale, come forward, keeping the spine long, allowing the breath to come out, coming all the way down. Now take an inhale and begin your breath of fire. And as your body becomes more loose in this breath, allow it to sink deeper into your hips, making more space for more miracles for you to manifest. Inhale, come up. Flex the toes, pull them back, straighten the back, hold the breath in, pull everything in really, really tight, vibrating the cosmos, and the cosmos shall clear the path. And exhaling, pushing everything back out. And now we're going to modify that. So take one leg, doesn't matter which one, sit on your heel, keep your toe grippies and your foot flexed, and then lean down, or inhale up, lean down, exhaling a little as you go, and then breath of fire here. Inhale up. Hold the breath in, pull the navel point in, pull the shoulders back, elongating the spine out on that nice angular, pulling the toes in and tight, and relax your breath, switch your legs. Find a nice comfortable seat, lean forward, inhale deep, lower, keeping your spine as straight as you can. Exhale, inhale, lowering the head down, begin your breath of fire. Inhale up, pulling the toes back, squeezing the navel point in, bringing it to the back of the spine, elongating everything up, arms are out straight, spine is straight, and relax your breath, blow it all out. Okay, so now moving down into the lower part of the body. We're going to come to feet out, whatever is comfortable. It doesn't have to be full straddle. It can be more of a V. It can be whatever your world feels like, as long as you can touch your toes wherever that is. Okay, so the life nerve stretch that we're going to incorporate in this next flow is going to be bringing your awareness up to the center. Blow out over, bringing your head down. Inhale up to the center. Exhale, bring your head down. Okay, so we're just going to kind of get into this nice fluid rhythm. It's going to speed up for you if you speed it up. Otherwise, it can stay this. Okay, it's your experience. Inhale to the center, grabbing both toes if that's possible. If not, use your shins, use your knees, use your thighs, whatever feels good, but holding that breath in tight, pulling that navel point in, pulling those toes back with your consciousness, and relax your breath. Shake it out, blow it out. Flip over on your belly. Coming into a cobra, breath of fire, bringing all this together. We're going to inhale deep, come up into your cobra. Doesn't have to be big, can be little babies, as long as your chin and your shoulders are being pulled back off the floor. Okay, and then you're going to begin your breath of fire. Inhale deep. Pull the navel point in tight, pulling the ribs around the organs, opening up the heart on your way up, holding the shoulders back, keeping your chin up and out, exposing your thyroid, your communication, throat chakra, and blow it all out. Lower yourself down and chill. Flip your palms up, lay on your bellies. If you're a woman doing this practice, lay on your belly with your chin on the floor for 30-40 seconds. Connecting into your moon centers and balancing all of your feminine receptor centers in your body. Bonus. Making your way back up to a seated position. Shaking our shoulders out here. And we're going to begin a shoulder shrug to integrate all of this and then bust all of that extra tension. Okay? So shoulder shrugs. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Super simple, super effective. While you're doing this, you can kind of visualize taking all your stress and just saying, whatever, put it away. It is not your load to carry 24/7. There needs to be some kind of detachment. So you visualize yourself setting it down, set down the load so that next time your shoulders go up, they kind of fly a little higher, right? Inhale deep. Pull the energy up into your shoulders, up into your ears, opening the rib cage, opening the hips, opening the spine, and relax the breath, relax the belly, relax the shoulders, and wiggle it out. You can go ahead and drop your neck down into the center while you're here. And begin to inhale to the left, rolling your energy around your shoulders, in your thyroid, and your communication center, your verbal communication center, the way you express yourself is all right here in your neck. Also, it's your intuition lives in the thyroid. So by doing these neck rolls, you're moving the stagnant energy or the newfound flow of energy that just shot up your whole body because you worked it from the bottom up. And now you're rolling that around into somewhere that feels good for it to sit. Inhale in the center, switch directions. Inhaling now to the right, rolling around to the left, and letting go of any stress or distress that feels crunchy. Okay, inhale to the center. Breathe in deep, pulling that navel point in one more time for just that galactic squeeze. And release your belly, release yourself, wiggle your spine. Integrate that. Okay, and then for our last piece of this, it's super powerful Kriya. It is Sat Kriya. And so what we're going to do is I'm actually going to sit sideways so you can see it better. My hands are totally, maybe they'll be in the picture. Okay, so your hands are going to be in a little church steeple here. Left thumb over right if you're a woman or you identify as a female. Right over left if you're a male or you identify as a masculine energy personality. It really doesn't matter. It's just what kind of energy do you want to invoke more of. So feminine on feminine. Oops. Up and over, pointing up to your ears. You're elongating your belly up. The energy is going to come from your belly because you're going to be pumping your navel point. This one has a mantra and it's going to be HUD, HUD, HUD. Oh, sorry. No, it's not. It's Sat Nam. Sorry. It's Sat Nam. So we're going to do Sat Nam. Pull in Sat, let go Nam. Pull in Sat, let go Nam. Okay, the breath is really coming from this actionary response around the navel point. So I'm going to sit this way so you can see the belly action, and then you just jump in. Set, nam, 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 set, nam. Inhale deep. Pull the navel point in tight, elongating the arms up into the sky, pointing high, bringing your energy up like a little radio tower transmitter. And relax the breath. Blow the hands out and down, touching your fingertips to the floor. As above, so below. And inhale deeply. Preparing to roll over onto our back. This would be a really good time for you to grab one of those crystals from your crystal toolbox. If you have it prepared, or if you're going to go find your items, you can do this next time. You're going to take your crystals and build yourself a crystal grid. So for me, if I were going to go down, I would put lapis, somewhere on my mind, so I remember to stay fortified through my foundation. I would put argonite at my feet to catch anything that my body is emotionally shedding. And I would put my Herkimer diamond on my heart here and my moldavite on my mind's eye. And here I would do my great decompression integration. So you can always find yourself a few of your stones that you connect to and allow them to act as healers, as guides, decision makers, friends. And just settling into this space that you've created, this restful pause. And as you continue this place of peace, I will prepare to leave you here, so stay where you are and stay comfortable. As I close out my last wish for this practice on this beautiful spring day, and the sun has come just like they said it would. But you know them, they'll say anything, right? So we'll inhale as a group as you're lying down, and exhale. Sadnam. Sadnam, beautiful people of the internet, beautiful people of the world, beautiful beings of this galactic consciousness. Thank you for showing up as you, for coming as you, and for leaving as you. You gotta stay true, just like you.